Okay, here's my setup as far as what I use in my classroom. So when I start my mornings, this is what it looks like right here. I have my iPad set up on this organizer. That's it. If you have a new student, you want to have your name printed out. I show that to my student. Hi, I'm teacher Shauna. You know, and you get them to talk. Those are things that you learn as you go. I have my whiteboards. I usually have everything kind of sitting in this chair to go with my mornings. In here is basically everything I need. In the beginning, I had like tons of toys and tons of props and tons of everything I raided my kids' closets, basically. But I found that it was just too much work for me. So, you know, like I said, it's all personality based. Up here, I have all my whiteboard markers. I use those every single class. You're always writing, whether it be math problems or sentence structure, anything like that. I like to write it all on the board. You can write on the screen. You can do whatever you want. This one is food. I have all my food. These I did print out just because these are some common things that we talk about in your classroom. Apples, cake, popcorn. These are little mini erasers. I love these. Students love these. I use them for props, you know, nice 3D props. What's red? What is this fruit? Things like that. But you also can use them as rewards. You want to give rewards to your students. You have to give 5 stars during the class period, 25-minute class. So sometimes I like to give these out. Oh, you get a donut today, or you get 1 donut. What color is the donut? Okay, now how many do you have? Okay, now how many do you have? Things like that. Don't mind the little hands that are in my picture. Here, I like to use my whiteboard. This one is not really used as much, but I do have it. But it's my, he, she, we, dad, mom, their, they. It's things like that. If maybe a kid is struggling with pronouns, sorry, I'm blanking, or yeah, whatever, pronouns, and how to, you know, with verbs or how to conjugate things. And these are characters for level 1. Again, I teach a lot of level 1. It's kind of what you choose what you're certified in, and I'm certified in level 1 through 6, and a ton of extra classes like the phonics. I teach them reading, things like that. So these are characters. I like to have these. They're really, like, seriously, I need to redo them. They're just like stuck on, and I honestly pull them off. They're just a mess. But these are great because in level 1, you use their names. So it's nice to kind of have them to say, this is so-and-so, Nico, you know, because you'll say, hello, Nico. It teaches children to introduce themselves. I love that. This is my random drawer. There's one of my people. I have colors in here, stars, because sometimes I like to give them different stars if I want to change it up a little bit. I have an egg because that's used a lot, which is funny. And then I have for the senses. So I printed these off. You know, those are just off Pinterest. Personally, I don't use those ones as much. I have big giant eyeballs that I use. My students love them. I have a big giant mouth. My students seriously like crack up when I have this. I hold it up to my face. And I have a big giant nose somewhere. Yes, a nose. And I'll say, oh, are those stinky? What does that smell like? Things like that. So I like to use, that is where like the fun part of me comes out and use the kind of fun personality. You know, get the kids engaged. They're in classes like hours and hours and hours a day. So VIPkid is about making them learning through interacting with an English speaker. But it's about also helping them to kind of engage. You know, they're under a lot of pressure, and this is a nice way for them to learn through play. That's kind of how I take it. You know, I don't goof off and let them not do the curriculum, but I like to keep it interesting for them. You know, you have a kid that's scared or nervous, and you can use a puppet, you know, to kind of help them to talk. Maybe they'll talk to the puppet instead of you. You know, things like that. My last drawer are my balls. We use those. I do colors. I do, we catch it in a cup because we learn stuff like that. And I also have vehicles. Mine are a little sad. These are erasers, so they constantly just fall apart. I just pop them back on. But some of my students like cars, so I'll do like, okay, you get a car for reward, or what color, big, medium. I think I have a really small one in here somewhere. Again, it's like, I'm on autopilot when I do these, so I just kind of roll with it. You know, big, medium, small, I could do things like that. So this is kind of my random drawer. I'll throw random stuff in here that I'll use. That's all. And then for my rewards, I told you about the star. Sorry if you can't see my face. Hopefully this is it. I hopefully, can you see me on this?
Yeah.
I have to turn it. So I told you have to give out 5 stars in a 25-minute class time. So I do a star every 5 minutes, and that just is like a way of saying good job, keep going. Something else I like to do is I bought these. These are, well, this was $1. My daughter bought it for me. But these are from Usborne, and they're $4. So at the end of class, I'll say, okay, today we're going to draw a soccer player, or today we're going to draw an animal. As your reward when you do a great job. So the last, maybe I'll end at like 21 or 22 minutes, and the last 3 minutes I'll draw with them, and they love to draw with you, and we can talk. This is great because it pulls in the, stop please, it pulls in the, you know, when we learned about eyes that day, we learned about shapes, we learned about big, small, what they eat. So it helps them with their vocab, but it also just, you know, it's fun. They don't even realize they're learning through it. Even older students like it. So that's basically it. This is my setup as far as what my room looks like. I don't prep. I don't spend hours. This is what it looks like pretty much. That's usually lower. So I don't spend hours and hours looking at my lesson. Hang on, I'll do one more video.